Nana, this is for you because you've always been there for me. There's never been a time when, if I needed help and I went to you, that you weren't there. You've always just invested your time, emotions, energy into everything that has to do with your family. And I hope you know how much I appreciate everything that you've done for me, and that you've just always supported me and been there for me. And I hope that this is, at least in a small way, shows you that you're so much a part of who I am, and my memories with you have shaped me into the person I've become, and just given me so much love in my life that I'm able to show that to others. And I love you, Nana. I forgot to tell you about the time that I told her I had a bracelet for her for Christmas. I said, close your eyes and hold out your wrist, and then I took kid's handcuffs and put him on her, and we didn't have the key.
That's a good one.
Yeah, we didn't have the key, and she thought I was giving her a bracelet, and I didn't realize there was no key. I just thought it was going to be a funny little joke. And she opens her eyes and she's got handcuffs on her at a Christmas party. And it was my cousin Tony's handcuffs, and they were like, we don't have keys for those. So of course I'm like, oh no, I didn't know. I was probably 8 or 9, probably about Daya's age. Yeah. Like I said, I thought it would be a funny little joke that, I thought it was a bracelet, and but nope, she was stuck with handcuffs until we could pry them off of her. So, another delightful story of me when I was little with you, Nana. I remember we were going to Disney and we were driving the whole way, and I remember we left at night and it was late, and I was like, oh, that way the kids will sleep on the way to Disney, and everybody's like, oh, she'll fall asleep after a little time, just give it a little time, no worries. And I remember I stayed up the whole way there. Didn't sleep once, I don't think even a cat nap, and everybody was exhausted because I just kept talking and pointing things out and asking for things, and I just wouldn't leave anybody alone. Everybody's trying to sleep in the car, and I was just wired. And I kept you awake the whole way to Disney, Nana, so you're welcome for that. Nana, you have a saying for everything, and a lot of them are, sayings that people don't say anymore. So I still come out with them all the time and get laughed at by a lot of people that don't know what I'm trying to say. But, a couple things, I know there was the one that you've always said that your grandma used to say to you was, everybody's queer but me and thee, and sometimes even thee. And I've said that a couple times, and of course it doesn't translate well in today's society necessarily, but, if I switch that over to the wording over a little bit, it does translate a bit. That's not the only, I always catch myself using them because it's just part of who I am, because you made me who I am. And I remember when I was little, a couple times you would say, you better not be talking to me, you better be talking to the wall. And I'd be like, why would I be talking to the wall? Till I finally figured out that you were just saying, Nicole, you're being rude. You better tell me that you're talking to me. And I remember the one time I backed talk and said, yeah, Nana, I'm really talking to the wall. And you were like, oh, now you've done it. And that was, didn't say that one again. Let's just say that. That was it for that. Oh my gosh. No, but a big part of what I learned from you, Nana, is that family is so important. Family should come first in many, many ways. Growing up, we tend to flip from one thing to another, and different things take importance in our life at different moments, but through it all, you always would tell me, your family is important. You have to honor your family. You have to be there for your family. Your family's always going to be there. Friends come and go, but your family is always going to be a part of you and always be there for you. And that's something that I've taken with me everywhere I go, and it's become more and more poignant and true in my life through everything. Your family is always a part of you, and whether for good or bad in every situation. They're always going to be there. And that's a big part of what you taught me. I remember, Nana, when I was little, I used to draw you books. I would put pictures of all the things that we did together, and then I would have my mom write out the different things and just, I would narrate it, but she would write down what I was saying. And I remember especially one year I made you a book, and at the back I had my mom write something. But then, I thought better of it, because what I had her write was, Nana, please don't take this to work and show all of your friends, because it's, I was embarrassed that you were showing all of your friends my artwork in the book, and I wanted you to have it, but I didn't want all your friends to hear about it at work. And I knew you used to love to go in and show stuff to all your friends at work. So when I had her write that, afterwards I thought better of it, and I said, oh no, my Nana likes to do that. So I took a black crayon and I scribbled over it as much as I could so you couldn't really read it. Well, I gave it to you, and of course you took it in to show your friends, and one of your friends at work was able to make out what I wrote back there, which of course you didn't know I wrote back there, but they figured out that it said to your friend at work, please don't take this in to show your friends at work. So sorry that I did that to you, Nana. But, I used to love to just make things for you and give things to you because that was how I showed you that I loved you. I always turned to you, Nana, when I was fighting with my parents because, let's face it, you were always on my side. Even when nobody else in the world was on my side and I was wrong, you were still on my side. Didn't matter how wrong I was, you were there behind me, being on my side and supporting me. And, I remember one time I was so mad at my parents about something and I barricaded myself in the room. And by barricaded, I mean I moved my 100-pound desk in front of the door, and I moved everything in front of the door, and I was so mad, and I wouldn't let anybody in, and Mom and Dad kept knocking at the door and trying to, nope, I wouldn't come out until Nana came over and knocked, and finally I was like, okay, Nana's here, I better open the door for Nana. But I always knew, even when we were mad at each other, or, not that happens a lot, but occasionally, I always knew that you were there for me, and if I needed you, you were going to be there for me, and like I said, you would have taken my cause to the end of the earth to defend me, whether I was right or wrong. And, that always meant the world to me. I always had the confidence to try something new because I knew even if I screwed it up or messed it up, I still had you there behind me, supporting me. And that's something that not everybody has. And I'm so grateful to have that. So thank you, Nana. Thank you for everything. And I love you so much. I can't imagine my life without you. I'm so grateful that my girls have gotten to grow up having a Nana too. I can't imagine, I always feel for Nick because he grew up without his grandparents. He didn't have a grandparent. And I remember when we got married and and we were talking about that, and you told him, I'm your Nana now too. And he always has said that, when we got married, you became his Nana too. Mm. And, I love that my girls have that same relationship with you and are able to, when I tell them we're going down to see you, of course, Kiki, she doesn't call you Nana, she calls you the Nan, because I'm on the phone with you, and of course I don't always say Nana, I'll say, oh, hi, Nan, hey, Nan, what's going on, Nan? And Kiki picks it up, and now you're the Nan. So, there's that, but she loves the Nan. When are we seeing the Nan? And Dea, oh my gosh, from the time she was old enough to talk, I need to go see my family. We need to go to Nana's and see my family. And I love that, my house growing up, it's not in the family anymore. It's not, it's gone. When Mom and Dad got divorced and they both moved on, our childhood home was gone. But I still feel like when I go to your house, it's coming home. Because that's such a part of my childhood, and I spent so much time there, and there's so much love in that house. And I mean, I remember Christmas, you know, we had a Christmas where me and Daya went and spent the night at your house and woke up Christmas morning. And not only that, but I remember playing up in the closet in your house and trying on all your shoes. And I'm sure some of those shoes we messed up pretty badly. But I remember me and Katie and Jesse putting on the shoes and dressing up in your stuff and parading through the house like we were just, you know, the diva. And those memories are still there. Every time I walk into your house, that same smell and warmth just envelops me, like it's going back to my childhood and my home. And thank you for giving that to us. And you know, I remember crying so many times into your shoulder, Nan. And I remember, and I still do sometimes, you know. I mean, there have been times that I've comforted you, and there's so many more times that you've comforted me, you know, through breakups, through fights with friends, fights with parents, fights with Jess, you know, just, I so many times I've just put my head on your shoulder, and you've put your arms around me, and, you know, you would give me a word of wisdom, and we would just, and I'm so thankful to God that you've been in my life, and that we have each other, and we have the relationship we have, and that we're so close. And that's something that I could never replace. And I love you, Nan.
When I think back on these times and the dreams we left behind, I'll be glad, 'cause I was blessed to get to have you in my life. When I look back on these days, I'll look and see your face. You were right there for me. In my dreams I'll always see you soar above the sky. In my heart there'll always be a place for you for all my life. I'll keep a part of you with me, and everywhere I am there you'll
Nana, as this winds down, I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate so much everything that you've done for me, all the times you've been there for me, every hug, every kiss, every phone call, every moment that you've put in to my life. None of it has been in vain, and none of it has been forgotten, and it's meant so much to me, and I just am so grateful that you're my Nana and that we're as close as we are, and I just appreciate everything so much, and I wouldn't be half the person I am today without you, and I just love you, and that's it. I love you, Nana. Merry Christmas.
What child is this who laid to rest on Mary's lap? He's sleeping.
Oh, whom angels greet with anthem sweet, while the good shepherds watch our
So bringing incense, gold, and myrrh, come peasant king.